like to play things like that Kaigalichu deck. Yeah, yeah, good. Ready to get Kaigalichu'd? Let's go first. Deal. My body is ready. Turtle time! We still have 2 PAs in our main too, right? Yep. You know how you know the format's Turtley? We came to the conclusion I wanted the second PA in the main deck. That's how you know the format's ready for, like, King Turtle Prime. It's just 2 PAs in the main is reasonable? Yep, alright. Now, hopefully these Thunderfield Seers are prophesizing onto one of those PAs. That would be real awkward. Now, look at the first CCSs of the season. You'll find a ton of people playing, like, giant, dirtly mid-range decks. And, like, if you read the people that, like, post crap on the Hex forums, like, the people love to just, like, not do anything in this game. Like, the amount of hate the decks like Yodel, Burn, and Redlings get from, like, the lot of the people that play a ton of Hex, they just, like, have no respect for the aggressive decks. Both in their deck building and in their, when they actually play and design their decks that aren't aggressive. That resource draw was excellent. Let's just play this Lanupaw site this turn. Opponent spent their first couple of turns doing nothing. And it's not even just about it being OP, right? Like, people sit there and cry about, you know, aggro decks are no skill, they're all luck, blurg, blurg, blurg. They drew Lasgar's Vengeance, so I died. Well, maybe you should build your deck in a way that doesn't die to Lasgar's Vengeance. Man, remember that time I said they was totally going to be on the Psychic Ascension? Well, this Psychic Ascension, should we live to get there, draws 3 cards. So, we've got that going for us, I guess. It's a real shame we didn't hit Sapphire there, but they also didn't have a turn 3 play either, so, like, I'm not quite sure what my opponent kept. But these Thunderfield Seers, they're going the distance. They are going for speed. They're all alone. And my opponent just drew that coin for the turn because they didn't play it last turn. Sure. The old play my Bride of the Damned, play my Wild Threshold. Just good deck building, really. Ding, we have Deny up now. Perfect. I'm gonna attack with both of these because Totem Trap can also deal damage to a blocking troop, so if they block, I will Totem Trap. If they attack, I will Totem Trap. This doesn't start stealing troops that it kills until they have 5 Blood Thresholds, so... And they didn't play a Blood Threshold last turn, so they probably don't have them. I wonder if they're going to attack with this or not. They didn't block, so, like, they probably shouldn't attack. Unless they didn't know why they weren't blocking. Paw of Yazukan. I'm just going to go ahead and deny that, I think. It keeps... Denying this keeps the scrounge text from going on it, which makes their Rotten Rancors worse down the line, which is good for us. Didn't attack. Okay, so they're playing around the Totem Trap. Or they're watching the stream, one of the two. You never know. Might have to just Transmogrifade this at some point here. They are at 14 though, so you know, like... I like how they pause to think about it. Hopefully we hit a resource in our next 2 draws, so that way we can hit our champ power on time. This is down to 13, so you know, it's slowly getting there. Drawing a troop would be nice. Perfect. So we're gonna get the champ power next turn. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if this sets that out before the CCS with a little bit of time for testing. Like, using the CCS to showcase your new set is a fantastic idea in general. Drawing Glory would be fantastic. And we do still have, we've only drawn 1 card from this prophecy so far. The second one's on here, and then there's still the next troop in our deck is gonna draw extra cards as well. Plugging, sure. This is ideally what we're saving this Transmogrifade for. All that time. Now we play into the Totem Trap deal. Take 1 from here. This I don't really care about, so we're just going to transmog it into something less scary, ideally. In fact, I'm just going to transmog this at end of turn, I think. That way I don't have that extra resource tied up, because we're going to be able to do this next turn too. This dies, summon, okay, that's fine. You get a grindy thing. Another transmog, sure. So this is going down to 10 cost, and we now have 7 resources, so getting closer and closer to ascending and drawing a pile of cards. Glory is a fantastic draw. It means my opponent's not going to get extra crap from this, which sounds great. Jump block with this, since we're just going to Glory and Void everything anyways. Pretty good. So we're going to draw us a card as well. Get to play a Lanupaw site too? Sign me up. So that voids all troops with defense 3 or less when it comes down. And now this costs 9. Sure, Glories are gone. So my opponents missequenced that there. They should let the Lanupaw site happen and then Hero Fall my Glory, because if the next troop in my deck was a Glory, they would have then voided part of the prophecy from this. So, small mistake from my opponent there. I'm going to go ahead and lead on Arcane Focus here, I think. See what we find. Glory, glory, hallelujah, indeed. Gonna do this, draw a few cards. Couple, 2, 3. This should bury them unless they have like a main deck steal intel. Which they could. Like, these decks are real greedy, so having something like a main deck steal intel is definitely not outside their range. And if they have a main deck steal intel, we're not dead. It's just we're gonna have a real long ground out game. Lord Blightbark is real good. Real good. Sure. I'm gonna champ power, get Blood Shard back. Alright, do you have steal intel or is this game done? card. Fertilizer. I don't think that works that way because they're both deploy triggers, so I'm pretty sure those don't work together the way we'd want them to. How about I dingle your dongle? Is that okay? Get out of here. But I'm trying to figure out how to best way to not die here. That's unfortunate. They have blood, they do. Oh, I don't want to sacrifice this. I want to transmog this in response so that way they don't get my Valiant Escort. I don't want to sacrifice it because then they take control of it. Because they have five blood. Play this Lanupaw site, make a random... Oh! Oh, Empress of Ice. Is that a good 3-drop? Oh, okay, that's fair. Bum ba-dum 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 bum ba-dum 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 ba-dum. That's annoying. Well, they're giving it the old college try here. Certainly giving it their all, but there's no way they're not. I feel like they're the clock's blocked by my deck list here, but my opponent is currently down 4 minutes on clock. I mean, maybe they think this is good enough. I guess this could potentially be good enough if I didn't have this purge. Like, the Vistage could potentially get them out of this if I didn't have a sweeper. And I'm not playing a copy of Purge in my deck, I just happened to... Man, it's been a while since we've drawn a troop, huh? So, we actually don't want to target the Cavern Creeper, we want to target this, because these are rogues. So those wouldn't get voided if we targeted the Cavern Creeper. I'm glad I checked that real quick. Alright, good. Glad we cleared that up. Totem Trap's a little medium in this matchup. Loregoyle's great. Dread End's fine. I don't love Adjudicator. I don't love Thunderfield Seer. Clash is okay. Diamond's Favor is okay, especially in case they have like a random Gargolith in their deck. Is Pride's Fall good enough? Pride's Fall might be good enough. Got these Thunderfield Seers. I really don't like the Seers against the Bride of the Damned decks because it gives them like random little bits of value. Maybe cutting a Dark Heart is fine because I don't want to get blown out by Hero Fall. Sounds great. Having the Dingle on the draw is pretty fantastic in these matchups because our opponent has... Other than the return of gauntlets, what would you like to see in Hex? Some kind of invite tournament, bigger cash prizes. I know you love constructed crash, like the Sunday one. I actually think bigger invite tournaments are kind of a waste of resources. Like, the bigger invite tournaments aren't accessible for the community, and I think they're kind of shitty. That's what basically a lot of other games do. Like, basically all the other digital TCGs, that's all they have are these crappy, like, high-profile tournaments that, like, real normal people can't get into. And, like, I'm someone that would be able to, like, probably get some kind of special invite to something like that, and I don't think it's reasonable. I think it's bad for the community. I would much rather see more consistent, regular events that just, like, anyone can join and sign up for just by, like, having a deck of cards to play in. I would love to see gauntlets come back in the support of an Immortal Gauntlet to make that format more accessible and supported a little bit. And I would like to see some amount of regular constructed tournaments that have an entry fee. Yeah, especially like with the spectator mode coming up. Like, the spectator mode is fantastic, and we'll probably see coverage for this next Clash too. But like, if there was like a Hex tournament every single weekend that we could watch coverage for, like, that would be awesome. A non-slow resource would have been ideal there, so we could jam Lanupaw's site, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and focus here, see what we find. I think I want the Dread End. That could be good cleanup for us down the line here. Looking for resources here, basically. Well, seems great. I'm gonna go ahead and play Wakuna Coin out here, I think. Definitely want to make our next few resource drops. I mean, even a Pro Tour, like the Cosmic Crowd Showdown is basically the equivalent of Hex's Pro Tour, right? It's the tournament you have to qualify for. I'm talking about, like things like the 100K Invitational that Hex had. I think things like that are a waste of money, where you only have like 16 players or whatever, and there's this huge prize pool. I'd much rather see 101Ks or, like, you know, 25Ks rather than one 100K tournament. So I could hold up Deny here, but I think I'd rather just jam this Lanupaw's site. Their pivotal turn, I think, is 6 more than 5. I don't think they have a scary 5-drop. We'll see. And they didn't... I was tapped out last turn, too, and they didn't play anything scary. And, like, I have this Dread End to clean up if they hit something. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'd be lying if I... So, like, part of the reason I'm playing Magic Online is because I can't play as much paper Magic, but part of the reason I've been playing so much Magic Online, too, is the fact that Magic Online has constructed tournaments I can play every Saturday and Sunday from my home, which is kind of awesome. Like, every Sunday, in addition to playing the Clash, I've been double queuing the Magic Online constructed tournament. And, like, I really enjoy just having constructed tournaments I can play from home for an entry fee. And, like, and those constructed tournaments are expensive. Like, they have good prizes. I've been making money top 8ing and top 16ing them. But, like, they're a $25 entry fee. Man, I don't know what they're doing, but I'll take it. They are the aggro deck in this matchup, so if they just want to dirtle around and just, like, chill, I'm cool with that. Just keep passing, deal. What on earth is in their hand? Dingle's a fantastic draw. $35 is actually kind of cheap for a paper 1K. Like, a lot of 1Ks I've played in are $30 to $40 on average. And, like, a 5K tournament in paper, like, that's $40+ easily every time. Withering Gaze. How about deny? How about stay out of my hand? Am I playing this Loregoyle Curator? Nah, I'm gonna hold on to him till later when we can play him with a bunch of resources, I think. Well, like, it's not just about money, Dax. Like, there's a big, like, so the easiest way to compare it is like learning a new format in Magic. Like let's say you're a Magic player, but you don't play Legacy or Modern, and, like, there's, like, a $10 Modern 1K. Like, it's not just about the $10 that you have to spend to get into that tournament. Like, you have to learn an entirely new format and acquire cards for it, too. Like, there's a very real cost there past just the entry fee. And, like, once you get over that initial cost and you're, like, in it, you're like, okay, this is sweet. I can, like, get a feel for this and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. But, like, before you're over that hump, it's difficult. So I am just playing this out now, since I have my champion power active. They're probably just gonna kill this. Yeah, that's fine. Like, whatever. Like, their hand obviously is just like a grip full of removal, right? And, like, putting removal in their bin is whatever. We wanted to dodge Withering Gaze, which they have a second copy of now. I think I'm gonna Dingle whatever they play here, just because I want to draw a card and take this Psychic Ascension down. Alright, more Psychic Ascensions. I actually just want the resource here. Next turn we'll probably just ascend. I guess if we ascend and then they steal intel, we're gonna feel bad. Maybe I'm supposed to bring in some verdicts in this matchup. Like, instead of this Diamond's Favor. How many denies have I played? Just one? Maybe I'm supposed to sit until I have a deny. I don't hate that. Our opponent's not really doing anything. It should be a draft ticket. If you go to hexsets.com, there's at the top of the page, there's a link to all of the account leveling rewards there. Yeah, I'm gonna sit tight for a minute. Waiting for a deny, waiting for a deny. Heidi ho the cheerio, waiting for a deny. Maybe I'm just supposed to hit this. If they have Steel Intel, they have Steel Intel. I'm gonna wait one more burst here, because there's a non-zero chance, like, we played this Lanupaw's site, so if I didn't have 2 Psychic Ascensions, I'd be in a bigger hurry to play these, because, like, they could rip Withering Gaze and take our 1 out of our hand, but because I have both of them, I think waiting until we have a deny is reasonable. Because, like, Steel Intel could be a reason to have kept the hand that they have. You know, I'm actually just gonna play this. It's kind of unfortunate that we hit that when we can't play another action. I'm playing this Psychic Ascension because my opponent has 2 Withering Gazes in their bin, and they're 1 resource away from hitting their Champ Power, and I don't want them to hit Champ Power, flip Withering Gaze, and then Withering Gaze the second one out of my hand. And if they have Steel Intel, like, there's gonna be 1 in our bin regardless, so, like, it doesn't really matter. Sure. Feeling a Dread End coming on. So we're taking 4 here. And the next turn will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start with this, see what we get. Got a Transmog, okay, fair. Whoa, that... Huh. Well then. Yep. I think that was actually bad for us. But, you know, we'll make do. Oh, that's pretty good, though. Alright, it's Transmog, sure. This is what you want. I'm just a simple man who wants to draw a lot of cards, right? This is all I want out of life. Is this right here. So, this card got randomly generated from my thing being cast, and when it comes into play, it transforms every card in our hand into an Oracle Song. Which is a 2-cost draw 3. Oh, look, a deny. Alright, sure. I think I need to hold the Transmog for potentially one of their things. I think I'm just gonna, like, discard this resource and then a couple Oracle Songs here. Oh yeah, that too. You could Transmog, which will make this free. Do I even want this glory? I probably want the glory. Probably want the glory. Do I care if they have a rune here? I probably don't, right? Losing the Cyclone Shaper kind of sucks. That's fine. Good. by hitting this. Dark Heart's gonna kill this Ventio for us, which is nice. Guess an Oracle Song here, see what we find. Stop it. Oh, that was loose. That's actually kind of important too, because it's fodder I could stack to the Dark Heart. I'm gonna play this Adjudicator out. Oh, and I failed to gain life because I'm an idiot the way I sequenced that there. Pro tip, play your Adjudicators before you attack. You have to sacrifice the Ventio, and the way triggers and hex work versus magic, if your opponent can't respond to things that don't have targets, so they can't activate the Ventio before the Dark Heart trigger kills it. I mean, it does it, right? Like, we ascended and there's 21 cards in our deck, so we're probably fine. Or transmog this when it attacks, and then have deny up. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And we had a bunch of cards at hand when it happened. Man, nothing makes me happier than just railing a greedy Kaigalichu deck after they beat my mid-range deck. So I should just only dirtle between now and the end of the season. Just dirtle all around. Don't you try and mid-range the dirtle. If you try and mid-range the Dirtles is going to come for you every single time. We know what's up. Thanks everyone for hanging out this morning. Welcome. If you're new, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a TCG player and content producer. You can land here at my Twitch channel. Played some Hex TCG this morning as a fully digital TCG. If you're enjoying what you see, I encourage you to show a little support. Use that follow button there on your screen. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps other people find my stuff. If you're really enjoying what you see and help me produce more content like this, there's a couple different ways you can do that. The first way you can do that is by subscribing on Twitch or becoming a patron on Patreon. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. HexPrimal.com would love to buy and sell Hex TCG singles with you. And if you use code Jeff5 at checkout there, you'll save 5% on your orders. Sorry if this is a worn-out question. How expensive are the decks in this game? Not a bad question at all. So the Tier 1 standard constructed decks usually range somewhere between $50 and $150. This deck that I'm playing right now, this control deck, is a little bit more on the expensive side. I believe it's around the $130 or $140, $140 mark. You can budget a few things. Like the one card, Transmogrifade, that's a 4 of, is about $15 a copy. It's about half the cost of the deck currently. His hand is very good, especially against Ivan Slagpot. So Ivan Slagpot, for 3 charges, summons a Dreadling for each race among Underworld troops they control. Generally, this means my opponent's playing an aggressive deck, and these Thunderfield Seers allow me to kind of get out ahead and also block with my opponents. Then we have a Totem Trap as well, and then Silver Talon Adjudicator will let us gain some life and draw some cards, most likely, once we've stabilized the board a little bit, help us stabilize further. Are they under 10 now? I actually don't look at the prices of cards. I just, like, remember what the last price was. It's probably still the most expensive card in the deck, but I believe you if it's come back down. Transmogrifade, 900 plat. Look at that. Yeah, they're under 10. Sweet. This deck's probably closer to 120 bucks then. Or less, if other things are coming down too. We don't have a set release date for the next set yet, but probably sometime around the end of the month. We're in spoiler season now. Dingle is a fantastic draw, especially because it draws some cards. What was the budget card for Transmog again? Shackling Strands or a mix of Pride's Falls? Probably a mix of Pride's Falls, Totem Traps, and Shackling Strands. JFK368 with the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much and welcome. I appreciate that support. I'm going to go ahead and crack in with both of these here, because if my opponent blocks, I get to Totem Trap their Dorko. This could deal damage to a blocking troop as well. So, trap that. And then we have a Dingle to answer whatever threat my opponent plays next turn and draw some cards. I'm gonna make one of my things not block. Yeah, that's fine. So, this actually isn't going to gain us life, but it is going to draw us some cards here. So I'm going to go ahead and play Silvertail and Adjudicator. If our opponent has more cards in hand than us, which they do currently, this gets to draw 2 cards when it comes into play. And if they had more life than us, we would have gained 5 life. But unfortunately, they did not, since our Thunderfield Seekers have kind of been going to work there. They have a window to resolve this Underworld Crusader here. They're probably going to hit their champ power as well. They have a Dwarf and a Necrotic. No, they're not. Okay. I am snap trading these 2 for this. I think this is fine, especially since we have Deny, and Dingle in hand. When this dies, my opponent loses 2 life and draws 2 cards, but I think that's a fine exchange for us. We just want to kind of keep the board clear of pressure. If we had like a Transmogrifade in hand, I'd wait and just take that hit, I think, but because we don't, I think we want to just do what we're doing. Another Silvertail and Adjudicator. Well, that's pretty good. It's going to let us draw some more cards here. You draw some cards, and you draw some cards. Everybody draw some cards. Alright, we picked up a Transmogrifade. Jacob, do you need a diaper change? Come here. Can you come here, Jake? I need to check. I might need to change a diaper really quick. Come here. Well, that's a commander prompt, which gives each of their exhausted troops plus power. If you've played Magic before, you should check out this article here. I kind of talk about some of the prime differences between Hex and Magic. So opponent's going to attack with everything here, I assume. And then I'm going to go ahead and Transmogrifade this commander prompt, which turns it into a random artifact constant or troop of cost 3, which will take away the attack bonus on these dorks. Which then means I can go ahead and use this to eat their 1/1 flyer and take 3. Resource is good, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass the turn here. I want to trade this Silvertail and Adjudicator with one of their attackers, most likely. I have Deny and Dingle up this turn. This Dingle also is double prophesized, so this card doesn't normally say draw a card on it, but my Thunderfield Seers, when I played them out, they added that line of text, draw a card to the next action of my deck, which happened to have been this Dingle, so let's go ahead and do that, turn that into an ugly 0/1 and draw a couple extra cards here. Deny that. Let's get on out of here. If they attack with this, I'm going to trade. If they attack with just this, I'm not sure if I want to trade. Probably. Yeah, 10 out of 10 willing to trade these here and then take 2 down to 10. So I'm going to go ahead and lead on Lanupaw's site. This triple prophesizes for me. So the next 3 cards in my deck I'll have, or the next action resource troop in my deck gain when you play this draw card. Take another Lanupaw side, I think, here. Play this. I think I'd rather hold this Deny than just jam the Lanupaw side. So yeah, I'm just going to pass the turn here. Might as well attack with this because they can't block because of the Rust Bucket Distractor. If my opponent doesn't give me something to deny, I'll go ahead and cycle the Wakuna Coin. And if they do give me something to deny, obviously we'll spend our resources. Sure. Yep, deny that. So looking for a way to close the game out at this point. Dark Heart. Silver Talon Adjudicator's okay. Totem Trap's not bad. Oh, actually, this is gonna gain us life and draw us cards. God, this bird is so good. This is much closer to Magic than Eternal is. So, Eternal has a lot of what I like to call a focus on soundbite gameplay compared to Hex. A lot of Eternal's design decisions are based around making games fast, only last like 5 or less than 10 minutes. Hex, especially on their ladder, you play full matches. The resource system in Eternal is a carbon copy of Hex's resource system, though, so if you've played Eternal, you'll be familiar with Hex's resource system. There's a Dark Heart. Sign me up. So Dark Heart says, at the beginning of each player's turn, they sacrifice a non-socketed card they control. So they're going to sacrifice this Dingle Dongle here. So I'm actually just going to take this hit here because my opponent has this card, Lasgard's Vengeance, in their deck that they played last turn that deals 4 damage to each opposing champion and troop. So if I block this here, they could Lasgard and kill my Dark Heart, which I don't want them to be able to do. Yeah, the Deathcry deck looks really sweet. 10 out of 10 agree. I mean, will it? Hero Fall won't be fantastic against that. Like, hero falling things that give you value when they die is not a good plan. Did you, Ace, did you see that they said Fate Weave is going to basically be like an evergreen mechanic for Hex? Nope, they're all best of 3. Even their, like, this is, we're playing a match on their constructed ladder right now. The ladder matches are best of 3 as well. Because, again, they have a focus on, like, generating and playing good games as opposed to just, like, play a quick game while you're waiting in line for your fast food to finish. Oh, I shouldn't have played this, right? I played this because I thought we were going to have lethal next turn, but Dark Heart's just going to make me sacrifice that, so that's a little bit of a dirt moment. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really care about that. I'm gonna have to sacrifice that anyways. We're gonna dingle his dongle. Oh, look, Psychic Ascension. Love me some Psychic Ascension. Psychic Ascension truly is the gift that keeps on giving. So this is prophesized, but I'm actually just gonna cycle it to gain some life, I think. We're drawing a card either way, so... Now, whenever we play an action, we generate a random troop. My opponent just commented, I can beat that. Dead. Oh, Cosmic Dragons, may you rest in pepperonis. We change the direct damage him to go on the chain and unban it. The direct damage does go on the chain, right? At any rate, traps are good here. Pride's Falls are good here. Darkheart and Adjudicator's Glare are good here. Psychic Ascension's a little bit slow. Lanupaw's Sight's a little bit slow. Usually we do this, I believe. So Darkheart's a socketed card, which means it's customizable. So we got to make sure we put the right customizations in the 4th copy we're bringing in from the board. One of the things that really annoyed me about Eternal is that control decks can't be well positioned in Eternal with best of 1 formats because, like, control decks, traditionally speaking, get better post-board regardless of, like, what their matchup is. Because you have, like, these awkward cards, like, your main deck of control decks are, like, you're splitting your things. You're like, I have some answers that are good against these things, and I have some answers that are good against these things. In game 1s, a lot of the time, I'm, like, hoping my answers line up right against what I'm playing against. And then post-board, I get to pivot my deck so I only have things that are good against whatever I'm particularly playing against in that matchup. Dingle is a fantastic draw here. And pass the turn back to my opponent. Eat the Bee with the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the support. Welcome. Subscriptions are one of the best ways you could support my content, so thank you. I really do appreciate it. Am I gonna dingle that? Well, that's awkward that their account registration is down. Well, welcome, Ben Christensen. I appreciate you stopping by. The question we have to answer here is this worth dingling? I feel like I want to dingle this just to, like, keep pressure off the table. If they follow up with, like, a Crusader, I have a Transmog to deal with that. So for the sake of resource efficiency, I think dingling this is right. Venon's also one of their less common underworld troop types, and this is a Venon. So makes their champion power a little bit worse to just turn that into a dingler. So, like, this is a good example of a playable card that has a random effect in Hex. And this is considered, like, a premium removal spell. This card is very efficient at what it does. It reverts, which means sets the card back to its base state, and transforms the troop you're targeting into a random artifact constant or troop with cost -1. So there's some variance in this. Occasionally, you're going to turn their troop into something that's still kind of scary. But a lot of the time, you got to remember, there's a lot of, like, limited chafe in a game like Hex or Magic or any TCG. So a lot of the time, you're taking your opponent's must-answer threat and you're downgrading it into something that you can essentially just ignore in your control deck for a number of turns. So, like, the tempo you gain from playing a card like this is pretty fantastic. Hey, Colin. Huh, we have 3 more resources in our hands. I probably just want to grab the Silver Talon Adjudicator. Yeah, but, like, Conscript doesn't have an impact on the constructed format. Conscript is a little bit variance heavy in Limited, but, like, Limited has a lot of variance compared to Constructed anyways, regardless. None of the Conscript cards are really playable from a standard standpoint. I think I'm going to go ahead and transmog this in response. So this card gives them a charge every time one of their troops die. So I think I'd rather get that off the table. It's super sweet. I don't want to type it out. So one of the best things Hex does, and this is using mitigating variance in a nice way. Hex uses a modification of the hypergeometric distribution to modify the opening hands that players are able to have. So basically in Hex, coming from Magic, everyone mulligans in Hex 15% less than they would in Magic. And the reason why that is Hex removes the 10% most resource light hands and the 5% most resource dense hands, and it just doesn't generate them in the opening hands when it's generating them for you. So basically, you don't have to mulligan these hands where you look at them and you go, well, this is an auto mulligan because I can't actually play the game because I don't have the resources I need to play. So it's kind of nice to have things like that happen. And really, I didn't really realize how powerful that effect was until I started playing a lot of Magic Online. I'm like really playing a ton of games of Magic. Like, you mulligan a lot in Magic compared to Hex. And just like, it generates a lot of pretty uninteresting non-games. Alright, what am I supposed to do here? So the greedy side of me wants to hold these birds. I could just play one of these birds out and like just gain 5. That's probably what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, it's basically I can play this as like a gain 9 because it gains me 5 life when it comes into play, and then I can chump block this next turn too. And then on my next turn, I can Pride's Fall this and let them draw some cards, and then play this bird to draw some cards. Graven Geist, sure. They could have a Lasgars. I mean, if they have a Lasgars, I'm at 26, so like I could take a pretty hefty hit. Rustbuck Extractor, sure. There, crack us for 5 here. Say hello. I should attack with this first. Yeah, Glory's gonna be real good. So Glory is just a fantastic control card. Love control decks. This voids every troop in play with defense 3 or less, so everything except my opponent's Underworld Crusader is about to go by. And there could be an argument to be made that I'm supposed to transmog this before I Glory there, because whatever I transmogged it into would likely be voided by Glory. Yeah, definitely. And like, one of the big things that happens in Magic a lot of the time is like, you know, you look at a 7 and you're like, this hand's close, but it's kind of keepable, but like, it's not good in this matchup, so I should mulligan it. And then you mulligan it, and then your 6 has like no lands or all lands, and you're like, well, I got punished for mulliganing the close hand. I should have just always keep those close 7s because mulliganing sucks. And the distribution, the distribution of resources in your deck afterwards is still completely random. So it's not eliminating Flood and Screw from the game. You're still going to have to play well and play through Flood and Screw because it's going to happen on occasion. But it does eliminate some of that opening hand variance, which is nice. Oh, opponent should be thoroughly... Oh, you know what? I should have... I'm just going to concede because they're pretty buried. Man... I should just, like, if we're going to play Standard Construct, I should just, like, only play this Dirtle deck, or the Ruby Wild decks. Man. Oh, I love Dirtling. If we win this next one, we might play some Immortal or some Limited for a little bit. I'm padding our rank up nicely here. The first one, playing Morgan McBombus. Pretty easy mulligan here. We only have 1 resource, and it actually can't make a threshold because we don't have a threshold to start. So, redraw. Ugh. This hand's actually very good. The other thing that's nice about playing control decks is I think this deck will still be viable once set 7 hits. I think this deck's going to get better once set 7 hits. We will have... we have that new, the new gems coming. They already posted the new gems, and there's the Sapphire gem that makes things always cost 1 less, so your Dark Hearts are just going to be 4 cost Dark Hearts. Scapegoat, so more aggressive Bombus deck. Well, if we hit a 3rd resource for these Lanupaw site next turn, we're going to be in a pretty good spot. If we brick, we're probably going to stumble and die. It's another goat. Transmog this Storko. We hit the resource. Okay, so these Lanupaw sites are each delayed cost, delayed draw 3s, so these will unmulligan us here. No, you won't get rid of Lanupaw site. I don't know. You're gonna have to rework things, obviously, because you want to play copies of Guidance. Guidance is very good. Honestly, if we have access to Guidance, we probably can trim 1 to 2 resources if we're going up 4 cantrips, especially cantrips that are guaranteed to draw us resources when we need to draw them. So probably you're just cutting 2 resources and then 2 non-resources. Maybe like 1 Lanupaw site's fine to cut. I gotta look at everything and kind of figure out what we want to do. This was a very good sequence here. Very, very good. Alright, yep. And then the Dark Heart's active here. It can block this. They're gonna have to sacrifice something to the Dark Heart. Okay. So they transformed it and then bounced it to my hand. That's pretty good. Go ahead and Arcane Focus here to get started, see what we find. Silvertail and Adjudicator is a great hit. It's going to gain us some life here. It doesn't draw us cards, unfortunately, but I think it's worth just getting it down as a blocker, especially with how much damage this is threatening to deal. What's the Cosmic Shaman Saga? That's a good question, I guess. Huh. So, I think I'm just going to go ahead and block the Scapegoat here. So they don't get the combat trading back to their hand, and we'll take 3 there. Hopefully we draw a non-slow resource so we can play this Lanupaw site and hold the Deny up. Another Dark Heart. Huh. I think I want to just pass here. Yeah, I'm just going to pass here and hold the Deny up, I think, on this blocker. Deny that. Whoa, that's good. Okay, well. So Stifling Sting deals 3 damage to a troop or opponent, and when it deals damage to an opponent, you get to counter all other actions on the stack that cost 3 or less. So we're going to trade here. We'll take 1. I'm going to go ahead and play out this Dark Heart. Totem Trap's a great draw. Dark Heart's going to make them sacrifice this Bumblebot. We know one of the cards in their hand right now is an Scapegoat. We don't know the others. Jeff, I'm going to post a Bant Merfolk deck that I'm working on Discord later today. Can you check it out and give thoughts? Bant Merfolk. Interesting. Yeah, definitely, Radicone. Bardic with the cheer. Thank you for the tip. I do appreciate it. So this, whenever it gets blocked, it bounces back to my opponent's hand. Yank Chef with the 413 subscription. A third every year. Welcome back. Thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. Second Psychic Ascension. All right. Well, you know, at some point that might be good. We have the Totem Trap to kill their scapegoat next turn. These they won't have to sacrifice, unfortunately, because Dark Heart only makes you sacrifice non-socketed things, and these both got sockets. Crackling Tide, that's pretty unfortunate. Yep. It's a trap! So 3 damage to an attacking or blocking troop. Get that out of there, take 2. How many birds are we through? Just 1? Hopefully we find another birdie to gain some life here at some point. Otherwise we could definitely run the risk of being burned out. Hey, ask for a bird and you shall receive. Drax! With the cheers! Fill the cup up and then blow them all out. Thank you, I do appreciate it. So this is not going to draw us extra cards, but it is going to gain us some life. You could post a link in chat if you want, Cone. Or we talk about Hex while we play Magic. You can talk about Magic stuff while we play Hex too. Yeah, his cards. Both the CCSs I've top 8'd involve 4 Silver Talon Adjudicators, so I should probably just like always play that card while it's standard legal. Ding. I think I'm just playing this Cosmic Shaman. Yeah. Oh yeah, it draws a card. Definitely want to play that. That's really good, and that's kind of punishing for having played this turn, because that, I don't have the Transmogrifade up to shoot this. Yeah, Glory's gonna clean up nicely, which is good for us. We're gonna take 3-4 this turn and go to 10, which kind of sucks. We're getting in range of like a couple of Lasgars burning us out for sure. They have a Valor, so that's 5 now. We're going to 9. Wow, that's really aggressive. So they probably have Lasgar's Vengeance here. Yep. Oh, don't have 2 of them. God, why do they always have 2 of them? Ugh. Oh, so we could have played around that by playing the Dark Heart out. It's a little bit of a tilt. Glory's good. I'm going to trim 1 Ascension in this matchup. Silver Talon Adjudicator's great. Dingle's fine. Transmogrifade is great. Loregoyle's fine. I'm Dark Heart, actually. It's kind of medium minus. It's either trim here. I don't think I want to trim any of these. Maybe the Loregoyle is just not good enough. Seems fine. I want to leave Dingle in to deal with their Warp Steel Shard Swarms and their Flickering Gobblers. Deny similar to. They're likely to board up post-board, get a little bit bigger. Pretty reasonable starting hand here. Hey, you have fun at the Grand Prix this weekend. Thunderfield Seer mirror here. Ten out of 10 just taking the trade. Yep. So opponent could have verdicted the Ancient Kings here, but I would like to get this Lanupaw sight in under an Eldurathan, so Rigid Eldurathan. Let's just do that now. They have 2 resources up, but they don't have double ruby. We get verdicted, we get verdicted. Lanupaw side of their own, as well as making a fatty here. At least draw a card. Nope, not yet. So my next action is going to have 2 extra draws on it. One from the site and one from the seer. Bog's an okay hit. It's got 2 draws on it. I think I'm just trapping this to preserve my life total, honestly. I've got so much removal here in my hand that, like, taking that off the table seems fine. There might have been a merit to, like, transmogging that, just because I, like, kind of want to draw cards into hitting my resources. Hopefully draw a Flickering Gobbler at some point here so I can play this and draw some cards and not feel bad about it. there's the Flickering Gobbler. So, 10 out of 10, gonna transmog that Dorko. Yeah, right? I was kind of surprised that that happened as well. So let's transmog this. Hopefully we got 3 draws here to hit a non-slow shard, which we did. So we're going to take 6 on this attack here. That's kind of unfortunate for us. I'm going to take 7 on this attack here. Okay, we have a deny. I think I just want to jam the Glory next turn. Opponent's build is real interesting. Play this diamond, draw some cards. Let's play Glory out, avoid their board. We're gonna get hit by the Flickering Gobbler this turn, but I think it's only for 3 points of damage, hopefully. Let's see. I don't actually have a way to gain life just yet. Transmogrifade my guys so they keep their Flickering alive, most likely. Play this Thunderfield Seer out, see what we get. Another deny, that's decent. We can't actually play both of them this turn. So it is. Go ahead and attack with this. So they Flickering Gobbler. I think I'm going to Transmogrifade it as opposed to denying it. And I'm going to have to deny that one. Whenever we draw a card, we take a damage. Thank God they didn't have, what's it called there? Stifling Sting. Would have been real bad for us. Transmog this Dorko. Decent draw. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Silver Talon Adjudicator just to gain some life here. That out of here, hopefully. See if they have another one. Sigmund's game, yep. Ah, they hit the good one at random. They hit my bird. Sigmund's game destroys a random troop in play. Artifact. Block. Hey, Chris. The Immortal Cup is actually this Saturday. They happen every 2 months, so the next Immortal Cup will be a couple days from now. Actually need to get one more ticket before then. Righteous Outlaw's pretty good. Dingle that dork. Yeah, I assume there'll be a lot of people scrambling to get tickets the next few days. Hey, Tar. We play this Dark card out. We get to play this Thunderfield Seer out. I don't think I want to play the Adjudicator. It just draws us one card. I think I want to hold that for now. I'll sacrifice up to this Dark card. You have a Dingle to check a Flickering Gobbler. Flickering Noob Woobler. Feed the Flames with Scrounge. Okay, I like it. Some good technology. Deal 6. This card's constructed playable. Deal 6 for 2 is a good rate. This one draws a card because it was prophesized. Yep. Okay, I think at this point I'm going to play out the bird that's prophesized. So that way I can just like have an extra blocker on my side of the board. This one also draws a card for us, so that's reasonable. Quick in for 3 here, leaving this 1/1 back to keep their 2/1 at bay. We don't get to draw extra cards or gain life because we have more life and more cards in hand than them. It's very sad, really. What you got? What you got? What you got? That doesn't really matter. I've got a 3/2. Alright, well, let's stack with everything here. Especially since we drew that. They won't know this is coming. They're obligated to block at least something here because they're at 7. They might, like, double the 3/3 with these two. Then we can play this and eat this. They blocked with everything. Okay. It's pretty defensive. Probably a fine line. Yeah, I'm just gonna play these out. Last Guard's Vengeance is what punishes us here. I just want to try and guarantee they get dead next turn. They are getting dead. Get dead with your bad self. I think I'm just clicking submit. Yeah, seems reasonable. Oh, stretch. Hope everyone's having a good Thursday, gearing up for the weekend. I mean, I assume their goal is to get the set released before the CCS and give people time to test for the CCS and get cards. So, like, realistically, we're probably looking at a set release in, like, 2-3 weeks tops, right? Mulliganed. I think this hand's okay. Needs a couple of resources, but, like, if we get to go this into this, we're going to be fine. Okay, hit. I want to transmog this to scapegoat. Just keep my life total high. Yeah, they tend to do Tuesday releases, right? Which would put us somewhere around the 27th. Or the 27th. Is that probably not the 20th, since it's already the 15th? We would have a date if it was the 20th. Nope, we ran the resources off, so that sounds good. Grab Diamond here. Go Lanupaw site next turn into Silver Talon Adjudicator the turn after that. Backs it in. Alright, it must have been pretty bad. 15th on the constructor ladder here. Let's wrap with the control deck for the day.